Oh no.
Oh my
Hello,
god.
are you
Hello.
are you back?
Yeah.
Did you get so nervous you just pressed the quit button?
No, I joined the live stream and it like kicked me out and I
Oh no.
don't think I've ever jumped up so quickly in my life. Um
Anyway, you're back now. Hello.
are we live now?
Yeah, we are
No.
live. It says live. I can see it. It says we're so good at technology, I have to say.
Yeah.
Guys,
And
we
how's
are.
this like little
Oh yeah.
portal?
I like your mirror. It's very trippy. It's really cool. I tried it
Thank you.
too, but I couldn't do it.
It's
Hi,
okay.
Ali. Hi.
Hello, Ellie.
For joining. Welcome, welcome. If anybody else is, I can see numbers. I just like tell us who you all are. And are you watching for the first time, or are you watching for the second time, or the 100th time? Also, I want to show you all my really amazing microphone setup. Oh, isn't it a thing of beauty?
Let me look with my mirror. Oh, it's gorgeous.
Yes. So anyway, if you have any feedback about the sound, which should be amazing now, but in terms of like, we don't like. I assume that the sound is the levels are fairly good between us, as in like I'm not really loud and Tamara is like really not loud or whatever. But if you have any feedback in terms of like, oh, Tamara's whispering and Iris is shouting or whatever, then let us know and we can turn some knobs and dials. Anyway, I've been talking a lot now.
Yeah, I removed the mirror,
Mrrr,
mirror,
mrrr.
mirror, and I'm here in my painting place, my painting
Awesome.
palace.
I'm gonna put my camera up so that
You're much braver than I am. Let that be
see
said.
why.
Because the amount of like cords and cables, I was just
I do have a
so
lot of cords and
nervous,
cables.
just so
Yes.
nervous to turn it around.
Okay. No, wait. You're still looking at the top of my screen. That's incorrect. Wait.
Let me check. A
Now.
mirror.
No. I don't know. I don't need confirmation that I'm being stupid. It's
Okay,
fine.
there. Yeah, no, I see. I see your mic, your
Okay.
very
Cool.
nice paint palette.
Okay. So it's a Q&A. So if
What?
anybody would like to cue some A's, then that sounds rude somehow. I don't know. Then please do. And if not, I will just cue some A's to Tamara.
You can
Some
cue my
I'll
A
question.
whenever you
I'll
want.
question some answers. I think. Yeah. Let's
The
get
first
started.
question I have, like before anybody can jump in, which is not related to art, is what music are you listening to recently? I need to know.
Me. Hang on. No, this is more in the way, isn't it? I don't know. I'll sort it in a second. What music am I listening to? Well, that's a really interesting question with a really boring answer. So I listen to my cat meowing mostly. Um, I listen to classical music mostly, so classical radio, and then other than that, I mostly only listen to like the practice tracks for my choir, which is like it's really ugly. It's like it's the accompanying piano, and then so accompanying piano, and then like a very kind of ugly track of like a kind of a clarinet or oboe sounding instrument, which is like auto exported from like some software that basically only plays the alto notes so that I can learn the notes. So that's what I mostly listen to.
Oh, that's actually interesting. I didn't know that it was done like that.
Well, that's how we
So,
do it. I don't know if
yeah, well,
everybody.
I mean, you guys have a professional, I want to say director. I don't know if
Yeah,
that's the right term.
musical directors. That is the correct term. Yes. Yeah, but I'm sure
Let me
there are
see.
choirs where they all do it like just by ear at the choir, like at the at the rehearsal. I don't know, but like that's not what we do, because obviously we're meant to know everything by heart as well. So hey, we've got a question. Oh, my husband, Iris loves film music. That is true. I do love film music.
The secrets are coming out.
Yeah, I do. But film music is mostly like classical music, because like, if you think about um like Pirates of the Caribbean, Hans Zimmer, or if you're thinking of what's that guy? The guy. The guy. Oh my god.
Bon John Jovi.
No. The guy who's done every single piece of film music that you've ever heard of. John
Did you say
Williams.
Hans Zimmer? Okay.
No. John Williams. When you think about those kind of compositions, they're all classical. Like they're all like orchestra.
Oh, they have a classical feel.
Yeah, because they're
Okay.
orchestras, but yeah, rather than pop songs or whatever. Yes. So I've never used black. Does it affect the paint colors, like make them duller? That's a really good question, Lisa. It really depends on the paint. So actually, let me just show you what I've got in here. So I've been using these Caran d'Ache. They're not oil pastels. They're like wax pastels. And they come out really nicely on the black paper, with the exception of maybe like one or two colors. Whereas if you use regular paint, it depends on the paint colors. So if you've got paints that have got a lot of white in them, or you've mixed them with gesso or stuff like that, then they come through really nicely, like this light blue or this white or this kind of off-white color. But I've used some colors here, and I don't even know what they are. But I don't think you could even see them on camera, because they just kind of like merge into the black paper. But yeah, it's interesting. I think I did. Hang on. I think I did swatches at some point, both in this journal and in a regular, like in a white background color journal. And that was interesting. Here you can really see like these paints are quite dull. I think also if you just like apply more, that helps.
Oh, I love that.
Kind of dull as well. These are paint pens. The paint pens are definitely less successful on the black. But I do really like the Neocolor ones. They work really quite well on this paper. So I don't know if that's a good answer. But,
no, it is a good answer. What I find is if you use something with a high transparency, so the more transparent it is, the worse, or not the worse, the less it will show up on the actual
that's
paper.
That's a really good point. That's good.
So, like a gouache is also really good, and even like Prisma colored pencils, because they have a lot of pigment. Those look fabulous as well on black paper. Fabulous.
Fabulous. Yes. I don't know how they make these, but these work really well. Because I don't feel like there's a lot of white in these, but they do. But the lighter colors work the best.
Is this the Neocolors?
Yeah, the Neocolor. Yeah. What sketchbook is that? This is a good question. It's a Sakura sketchbook. I usually keep like the thingy from the outside, but I don't think I've done that this time. It says Sakura on the front, and I think this is it's by Talons. Oh, here. No, it's
Sakura. Sakura is its own brand.
Sakura is a brand. No, I agree. There must also be a Talons one that I saw as well, but no, this is the Sakura one.
I think, at least in the art stores here, like Sakura is one of the only brands that I've seen like with full black paper. And it's quite interesting, because it's also like you have to have a lot of I want to say bravery. I don't know if that's the right word, or maybe curiosity, like if you want to try black paper. Because it's, I don't know, at least here, the one that I got was a bit pricey.
Oh, I see. I don't remember what this was, but it doesn't.
I don't think it is. I think it is very pricey. I think it was just the time that I bought it. I think it was still new here. What are
I
you
have
doing?
to say though, I
None of
do
your business.
like I do when I do my art in this journal, I do it differently from like this is more like a just doing my regular art journaling in this journal, and this, and then this is like a combination. But I think the reason I grabbed this time is because I wanted to do, you know, like the colorful kind of sketch lines, and I just wanted to like work quickly, and not think too much, rather than like be working on an art journal page. I wanted to just do like lots of quick sketches. So I do kind of slightly different art in because of the black background than I would if I were in a sketchbook with a white background. Do you feel like that?
Based
Do you work differently, Tamara, based on like what you're working in or on?
bold of you to assume that I work. um, yeah, the thing is, I don't feel like I've experimented enough in different types of journals. Like this Talon's art creation sketchbook, you know, the standard stock standard one. I love it so much because it's affordable for me, and I think at the back of my mind, I still have this thing about how expensive the material is, and kind of the cheaper it is, the more free I feel. So
Yeah.
I do have like one really expensive sketchbook, and I've had that for about 4 years, and I haven't really done anything in it. So yeah, I do work differently, but for me, it's not necessarily about freedom of expression, but rather the shackles of the cost of the material.
The shackles of capitalism.
I wanted to say that, and I was like, Tamara, you need to chill. I've been going at it since the morning. Just chill. This
So it's
dog
not so
looks
much
horrible.
darkness. Like, look, so this blue comes up really nicely, whereas this red kind of disappears. That's interesting. So,
When you went through this sketchbook, I saw that the work looked very, I want to say, you had the energy of the stroke seemed quick. And even now, as you're working, you seem to be going quite fast.
yeah.
Is that specific to the sketchbook only, or is that all your work? I mean, it's not a binary, but
I think whenever I do like a face or whatever, I do tend to do them quite quickly because that's just how I work. But it isn't so much, I think I always work quick, but that doesn't mean that I don't spend a long time um, on a page or a spread. So the process of making a face, like whatever, would usually be a similar amount of time, but I might spend more time on kind of um, the page itself, you know, like backgrounds and stuff. But right now, like my intention was really just to do a bit of like quick sketching, um, and to just like use dry media, like not painting and stuff, and that's kind of how I came at it. So I think it's more the intention with how I showed up rather than like the 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 place I'm working in, if that makes sense.
this might seem unrelated, but it's not. Just trust me.
Okay.
Are you a, or have you developed like your public sketching muscle? Like, is this even something that appeals to you, like sketching in public or like collecting
Oh,
data in public?
do you mean doing what I'm doing right now, but in
Yeah.
public,
Yeah,
or
like at a
sketching?
coffee shop
Mm.
or at the park or.
No, I'm really terrible at that. I've tried it before, like, because it sounds so romantic, right? Like, oh, I'm gonna sketch in the park, and I'm gonna sit on my blanket, and it's gonna be amazing. And I always feel so self-conscious. I just like, I don't, yeah. I'm not very good at that, and I have decided that maybe I don't need to be. You know,
I hear you.
it's like, so I'm gonna I'm gonna tell you like a shameful secret right now. As an artist, I I am not a big fan of museums. I don't really like going to an art gallery. I mean, I do like going to an art gallery, and I will whiz through it for like 20 minutes, and then that's enough for me. Like that, that's kind of how I like to enjoy it. And if I have to do it in any other way, then I don't really enjoy it. If I have to do it in the way that I think one should enjoy an art gallery, by like looking at stuff in like with lots of time and attention and detail and stuff like that, then I don't enjoy that, and I kind of feel bad about it. But I feel similarly about this sketching in public thing. It's just something that I have tried to get myself to enjoy, and I just don't enjoy it. And I think it's just for other people and not for me. You know?
Has your earphones? Are your earphones still there?
Yes. Why?
Okay. No, I was just checking. I just heard a change in your voice,
Oh,
but it might have been the sadness that you expressed from not sketching in public.
yeah, it was
So
the sadness. Yeah.
I've painted or sketched in public twice, and public is a very generous word because I did it inside the settlement on a bench because I really don't want people to look at what I'm doing, and I don't want a conversation to start. Like, that's my worst nightmare. Some stranger coming in saying, "Oh, what are you doing?" And I get it because people are curious, but also like that's not my vibe.
Oh, Tamara,
And
come live in London where nobody cares what you do.
yeah, but I think when you're painting, it's a little bit different, especially with if I'm painting during the day, it's going to be older people that are around me, and older people
Right.
are a little bit braver probably when they approach you. Um, but it was a very nice experience for me. It felt almost spiritual because I saw the mundane things that surround me in a very different light.
Mm-hmm.
And
Were you sketching the things that were around you, or were you just doing your
yeah,
own?
I was sketching the horrible art deco block across the. I'm saying horrible now. When I was sketching it, I was crying, so it wasn't so horrible.
Mm-hmm.
But I could see the. Oh God, I'm just thinking, how deep do I want to go? So where we stay in Warsaw, well, in Poland in general, there's a lot of buildings that were done like during the socialist era, and those are
Mm-hmm.
all like tall blocks with windows. And I have a real like love-hate relationship with it because where I come from, we don't really have buildings like that. We have a lot of flat. We can see the sky, we can see the earth, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And what I see when I look at this is just like a lack of individuality. Also, like I feel like people get lost and people are forced to like conform to the building regulations and they can't like show who they are or their personality. But that day I opened my eyes and I saw like people had their own decorations on the balcony. Like some person like really digs birds and someone else had like flowers that I had never seen before. And I think that just made me realize that I'm kind of maybe cynical and people are still like living beautiful lives in these objectively horrible places. So
Mm-hmm.
that was nice for me. That was very interesting, but it was also cold as hell and my fingers were just shot afterwards. So I haven't done it again. I would love to do it again because I like collecting data, and I think when you're in this process of sketching and you're looking at an object and you're doing it, you're looking at the object. You're looking very, and it sounds so pretentious, but you are looking at it differently. And I think I like that. I think that it's that
Mm-hmm.
moment to pause it. My friend, I'm not going to mention her name, Ali, who's on this chat, says yellow long thing. If somebody says yellow long thing, you just immediately think, aha, banana.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, it's actually seeing that the banana is not yellow, well, depending where you come from. I don't know if I did that justice, but I'm drawing a dog
I see
because,
it. I was just seeing at what you. I was just looking at what you're doing.
this
Yes.
is not my dog. This is a dead dog. Hot dog.
Oh, we've got a really good kids book that is about like different types of dogs, and one of them is a hot dog, and one of them is a cold dog, and it's one of my favorite kids books, definitely.
I had such an awesome memory unlock for me. I was recording some lessons and I based it on this lesson on penguins. I mean, I've done a lot of penguins in my time, but I remembered that one of my first books that I got as a prize, you know, when you do speech and drama and all this nonsense and then you win a prize, was a book
Mm-hmm.
about a penguin that hated the cold. And I just found it so hilarious when I was a kid because I mean, it's a penguin. How can it hate the cold? And it was about his entire journey to like leave this cold place and go somewhere warm. And he
Mm-hmm.
just had the like most like apathetic, like lazy, disinterested face. And I read that book until I had like broken it because I read it so
Mm-hmm.
much. So yeah, that was a cool thing that got unlocked for me.
Nice.
It's not all just trauma, it's also rainbows. Okay. Yeah, so like Lisa says, I live in a council flat, and you wouldn't know from the outside that I have my own mini art gallery indoors. I
Mm-hmm.
think what it is for me is I am slightly, if not very, disconnected from the people around me. I'm not going into their homes and breaking bread with them, etc. So just this idea that everybody is either living like me or um, because I live in a flat that is very much lacks personality. The only art that I have hanging on the walls is the thing behind me and the gift that you gave me for my wedding. And I mean, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm an artist, so it's just like a little bit, I guess because I live like that, or am living like that, I feel everyone is. Oh, there we go. Banana, yes. Here's it said in a much more, yes. Well, should I do an American accent? No. Yes, it's about the neural shortcuts we take. That's Ali. Sketching can help us get out from under those shortcuts and really see. That's Ali. She hates GPS and she hates shortcuts.
Uh-huh. Yes, I think that you know that book Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain. It
Oh, yeah.
it's it really gets you to look at things as they are rather than what you think it is, because you know most people people like me, and also I think I have what's it called, aphantasia. Like I don't see pictures inside my brain, so like I need to follow the rules, and otherwise a tree is just going to look like this because that's what a tree looks like. um Birds,
Okay.
you know. But when you do the drawing on the right side of the brain, it gets you to kind of almost let go of um, what your interpretation of things are. So when you're looking at a face, like often we look at a face and we go like, oh, that's a face, that's a nose, that's you know, like we have shortcuts for symbols and stuff, and like that's, you know, this is what a nose looks like. No, that's not what a nose looks like. I'm gonna go to the next page. Nobody saw that. Okay. Um.
I didn't see. Oh, I see it now. That looked like something else.
Okay. Um. Moving on. So symbols.
I'm very concerned because the amount of times you told me you need to go and blow your nose.
All right. This is what
I'm
a
so
nose looks
sorry.
like. This is what a nose looks like. Okay. No, so it gets you to gets you to see things in terms of like lines and lights and darks and contrast and stuff like that. So you're no longer hampered by this symbolic language that we use in terms of like translating everything that we see, because when we see a person, we see a person, we don't see planes of light and dark and lines and that kind of stuff. So it gets you to kind of retrain how you see things, which I thought was really interesting. I thought it was interesting for like a couple of chapters, and then I got really bored and I didn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, I do remember you were doing a series on it, and I remember the whole concept of how children draw houses or how we
Yeah.
learn to draw a house when we're kids. But just you said you have aphantasia. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I mean, I don't like, that's one of those things where I read the description. A friend of mine suggested it after we were playing, well, playing many different games, but uh, I don't know if you've heard of Gartic Phone. It's like where it's a digital game where everybody draws something. People give sentences, then the next person gets given the sentence, and then they have to draw that, and then the next person gets given that picture, and then they have to guess what it is. And whenever I'm playing that game, I'm like, I don't know what stuff looks like. Can I look it up? And then I can draw it. But like from my brain, I don't know what things look like. And and so my friend said, "Oh, do you think you might have aphantasia?" And I was like, "I don't know what that is." And I looked it up, or she described it to me. I don't remember. And I was like, "Oh yeah, like I don't see pictures in my brain. I don't." And my kids, especially my youngest, he can like from memory draw things like, the printer in the office, and then like you go and compare the thing that he drew, which might be childlike, but it's very accurate in terms of like, yeah, that's that button there, and that is that shape of
Oops.
the printer, and that is what that actually looks like. And that's very strange to me because I can't do that at all.
That's very interesting. Uh, okay.
Yeah,
Does
so
it
it's so
frustrate you?
um
How do you feel about it?
that's a good question. I wish I could see pictures in my brain. That would be cool. In my head, not in my brain. Like in my head, like if I close my eyes, it'd be cool if I could see, you know, an apple, and then I could draw an apple. But I, or like more complex things like, I don't know. When I play Pictionary, it's all stick figures, and it's all like, in that game I was just describing, I had to draw a frog, and I'm like, I don't know what a frog looks like. I know it has eyes. Like, okay, so maybe this is like the eyes of the frog. That looks like boobs. Sorry. It's all very bad. Anyway, so it's like, this is a frog. Is this a frog? Uh, Maybe. And then it's got legs, and they're kind of like this. But then it must have more legs like
Hmm.
this. See, like, okay, sure, that kind of like, for Pictionary, that probably people would guess that's a frog, but like, I have no idea what a frog looks like. I can just, if you show me a picture of a frog, I know that's a frog, but like, it doesn't work the other way around. So I don't know. I think it frustrates me, but then at the same time, I kind of feel like if I had been really good at drawing from memory and stuff, I might have not ever stumbled upon the type of art that I do, because the type of art that I do it isn't about drawing something that I see in my mind's eye. It's much more emotional. And I think in a way, if I was better at it, then would it have been as accessible for me to draw my emotions? I don't know. That might have then been more of a struggle. You know what I mean?
I do. I mean, obviously, like I know, like some people see color, um, not see color, see sound,
Oh, yeah.
synesthesia or something like that.
Synesthesia. Yeah.
But I'm really like surprised and interested. So okay, like you'll tell me if you're getting a bit uncomfortable, but like can you imagine stuff? Like can you imagine yourself, I don't know, riding a horse?
Yeah, but it's more like a conceptual imagination. It's kind of like it's the same, like, it's like it's like imagining the concept rather than picturing it. It's like, it's
Okay.
more cerebral. It's more kind of like, it's more maybe language based rather than pictures based.
Okay.
You know? I mean, maybe you don't know because you've not experienced it, but like, that's kind of what
Yeah,
it's.
I don't know. That's why like this is really fascinating to me.
Yeah, and also like, I've gone through my whole life not realizing that this was a thing.
Yeah.
So that's I only heard about this like maybe 2 years ago, and it kind of help make sense of some things, because whenever people go like, oh no, I don't want to play Pictionary with you because you'll be really good, and I'm like, well, hold my beer or hold my stick figure. I don't know, because I mean, I am quite good. I am quite good at Pictionary, but not because I'm an artist and I can draw things from memory, basically. So yeah, I'm only good at Pictionary because I'm like competitive, and uh, I'm good at like drawing things so that they can be interpreted, but not good at drawing things so that they look like what they are. We should play Gartic Phone together.
I'm just thinking like I've never played Pictionary, and then you said like I'm really competitive, and I was like, is our friendship gonna last a game of Pictionary?
Yeah, but I mean, yeah. So Pictionary is competitive, but like Gartic Phone, which is what I was just describing, is just people having a good time. So I actually think we should play, you, me, and like a selection of like 4 other friends. Should play Gartic Phone together. I think it will be amazing. We should live stream it. It will be amazing.
I'm a frustrating person to be on a team with because I either don't take the game seriously at all, or
This is an
I'm very
excellent game. Not
competitive.
it's a really excellent game not to take seriously. It's really good.
Okay, guys, you heard it, yeah. Rena says she thought that your paintbrush was connected to the wire there. She thought like it was some AI kind of stuff. Or how many fingers do you have? Show us how many fingers you have. Then we trust that you're not AI.
Yeah, I'm my
Dog.
fingers.
Oh
Is this
no.
is this what you thought? Is this correct?
Yeah. Yeah. Show me a glass of wine full to the brim. That was a very interesting thing that I watched, that AI currently is unable to show you what wine is full to the brim of a glass because it has not been trained on that data as yet. Because people post pictures generally when they post off wine glasses where it's half filled or at
Oh
an
yeah, of
aesthetic level.
course. Uh huh.
Um,
Yeah. So everybody who's watching, what are you doing? Are you painting? Are you drawing? Are you art journaling? Are you working? Are you having a bath?
dropping the kids off at the pool.
Yes, dropping the kids into the pool. Um, are you having a manicure? Uh,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
I'm painting. I don't know about you, so.
I'm painting. No, I'm not painting. I'm drawing. Auto
Mm,
suggestion.
yeah. Turn it off, AI. Oh my god.
Washing your
I
brushes, that is such a
just
good
fell in love with you.
activity. Good. What? Hmm?
I just fell in love with. I'm so nervous to say Eulalia's name because
Yeah.
was that right?
No, I'm sure. I don't know what it's like. I only know how I pronounce it. I don't know what's correct officially.
Oh no. Okay, well, that just killed another friendship. I love I don't know. I like washing my brush. Both are saying it right. Okay. See,
Oh,
we're the
good.
best, Iris.
Um, but I think that washing your brushes is a very good activity. It's one that I hardly ever do. Oh, yeah.
I like I think I've said this before. I started painting because I started watching Cinnamon Cooney, and she was just so
Mm.
good at this like initial practice of like, hey, don't leave your brush in the water, and hey, this is how you wash your brush, and that really like stuck with me, and I'm still doing it.
That's lovely to take away.
Yeah, I just, I mean, if anybody doesn't know Cinnamon Cooney, she used to be a mixed media artist. She was teaching on Livebook as well. She has an amazing YouTube channel. You can go and find her. She's called the Art Sherpa. But sadly, she is no longer with us. And yeah, but you can still learn from her, which is actually quite an amazing idea.
Yeah. I found someone when I was making my quilt. I was looking on YouTube, just like obviously, if you don't have a skill, you look on YouTube. So,
Yeah.
and I was learning from this woman called Melanie, and uh, who had who has very good like instructional videos, like very basic videos on how to make a quilt. There's like a series of like 6 different videos breaking down all the steps, and then like I'd been watching these videos, and then I was reading the comments, and there were loads of people who kind of indicated that she had tragically passed away because she was like very
Oh
young, like she
no.
was in her 30s, and it was so like sad, but also like what an amazing legacy. Like she reached, while she was alive, she reached so many people, but even after she's passed away, she's like passing on this skill, and I just thought it was really beautiful. And yes, I learned a lot from her videos, and the success of my quilt was partly down to her videos. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I like. I also found a video of an artist, and she was just talking about her battle with cancer, and I was like, okay. And I was really enjoying the chat, and then I was like, oh no. And I went and I looked, and I felt like I really have a huge, and it's my own thing, and obviously I need to do work around it, but even like watching old movies, I feel very sad because everybody in the movie has passed on, and it
Mm-hmm.
just fills me with such immense sadness that I haven't watched like the classics
Mm-hmm.
because you know, yeah, but I hear you, and I'm glad
But
YouTube
that's
exists, and
much
I'm
more. That's a much more human and moral version of a reason of not having watched the classics. I haven't watched lots of classics because I don't want to be bored because film used to be so slow. So yeah, I mean, I'll take your one. I'll pretend that that's my reason. Look how virtuous I am.
yeah, we're amazing. No, it's yeah. I also just want to acknowledge like what people are saying. Like Lisa said, Cinnamon was lovely, and she indeed was
Yeah.
amazing. She was a force of nature. Yeah. Okay. I don't know if you've ever been like in a group in a group party, and then you've said something, and then everybody kept quiet. And you're like, oh,
Well,
there
that
I
is
go
like,
again.
I have to say that that is kind of the experience of like solo live streaming. Solo live streaming is like talking into the void, and like hopefully you get response from people, but it does really feel like a comedian just talking into the void.
Yeah, I think with me it felt more like I spoke about this really like sad and heavy thing, and just ugh, yeah. Uh, have you? No, I'm not gonna talk about that. I am gonna talk about it. I've I would like to give everybody a never mentioning again that I'm washing my brushes.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, your sense of humor is wicked. Um, oh, that
You
just
want
took
to
me
give
right out of it.
you want to give what?
Oh, I wanted to give a recommendation for a series, but then I changed my mind. I changed my mind again. I don't know. I'm gonna give it. It's called. I don't know what it's called. I think it's called Made with Love, or yeah, it is called Made with Love, by Pamela, or with Pamela Anderson, by Pamela Anderson, and it's a cooking show, and I've just really been like, I watched
Is it
3
current?
episodes of it.
Is it current?
Yeah, it is current. It's
Oh,
like,
cool.
well, I hope it's current.
Pamela Anderson of Baywatch fame.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's really kick-ass. Like, she's so awesome.
this auntie is just, she's so cool. She's like, really, like, I'm having, when I was younger, I knew about Pamela Anderson. We all grew up in a misogynistic
Yeah,
society.
exactly. Yeah.
And also, I was like a young kid and I would watch Baywatch and I would feel so shy, like when I would see her like running on the beach or whatever, because, like, I don't know, maybe I was having feelings. I don't know what it was. But I mean, we come from a culture where we're not really wearing bikinis and whatever you call it. What is it? Swimsuits. So I didn't know the person. I just knew the pictures. And like watching this woman speak now, and how she speaks, and the life she's led, and her ideas, and she's spectacular, and I'm really enjoying that show. She's just such an authentic, she comes across as such an authentic person.
Oh, cool. I'm gonna look it up. What is it on? Because I love cooking anyway, and then I also enjoy what she's got to say. So
Well, I don't know where it's streaming, but I watched it on YouTube.
okay,
And I think it was, I don't want to say HGTV because I think that's wrong. I'll send you the link. But
okay.
Pamela, if you're watching, thank you. Oh, and it's a lot of like vegan cooking, but you're really interested in cooking. I think you would really enjoy it. There's some
Yeah,
cool
I think you would.
ideas.
Yes, I love cooking. You're making it's making me hungry. What are you cooking tonight, Tamara?
Iris, are you throwing darts here? I
I'm
cooked
just,
on
but it's like
Sunday
because I want
because
because
I'm cooking
I
lasagna
want no.
soup.
So it's purely selfish. No, it's purely selfish, but trying to not come across as selfish or self-important. I want to tell you what I'm cooking, but I'm going to ask you first what you're cooking so that I can be seen as a person who is like generous and generous in conversation and stuff like that. But really, I'm just here to talk about myself. But yeah.
Okay.
So what are you cooking?
To be very South African, today I'm cooking fokol.
Is that an
What
ethnic
about
dish?
you?
Is that
Yeah, it's an
dish?
ethnic. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I had lasagna soup today from I made some on, when was it? Sunday night. And Miha hasn't been here and there's been just a lot of it to eat, but I finally finished it today and it's still good. So that's what I ate today. So I'm not cooking
Oh, I'm so jealous that you
anything.
can cook on Sunday. You can cook lasagna soup on Sunday, and you can still have some left on Wednesday. When I cook lasagna soup, it is gone the same day because
Honestly, like,
it's
I'm
eaten.
surprised it lasted because so what I've been doing is I've been reading up on like how to like properly store food because I
Mhm.
haven't been having good success. So this time I just let it like cool down properly. I put it in the airtight container. I put a double seal on it,
Mhm.
and it was really good. Even like the spinach was still fine. And I'm
Oh
not
yeah,
warming
actually,
stuff in the microwave anymore.
it's the type of dish that probably tastes better a day later or a couple of days later.
Yeah.
Most food does.
Well, and whoever's listening and thinking, "Oh my, that sounds fantastic!" It's Iris's heirloom recipe. What is it, heirloom? That I don't know if that's the word, but you're gonna have to get it from Iris. I can't share it. She
Yeah.
swore me to secrecy.
It's like it was a TikTok trend. I'm not on TikTok, but well, I mean, I am technically, but I don't really spend time on TikTok. But my sister-in-law was showing it to me, and she made it a couple of times, and I was like, "Wow, what is this witchcraft?" It's like, and it's really good. It's kind of like a bolognese, but more soupy, and then you put lasagna sheets in it, and it's very good. And I have written up my own recipe because I can't be bothered to like watch TikTok all the time. Um, So I wrote up my own recipe, and then I can share it. DM me if you would like my lasagna soup recipe. Yeah.
What are you cooking tonight?
Um, I think I am gonna cook like some kind of curry, like the veg box. We got the veg box on Tuesday, and I've got cauliflower and I've got leek, and I have just read this book called Butter, which is a Japanese book. This sounds like such a segue, but it is related, I swear. And in it, it's a book that it's fiction, but it's mostly about food, and it made me very hungry whilst reading it. And because it's Japanese set in Japan, there's a lot about rice, and I am a big fan of rice, having grown up with rice as like one of the
As your
main
sibling.
yeah. And unfortunately, my family is not a big fan of rice. The people who live here are not like
Oh
they
no.
will eat it, but like they don't really like it. I'm like, oh, because I love rice and I need to eat rice multiple times a week. So anyway, I fancied rice, so I'm cooking a curry with rice. In order to bribe the kids, I have bought some ready-made chapatis, so that just makes it more exciting for them because bread. So yeah.
It's in this house, I'm obviously let's be a little bit racist for a second. I'm the rice person in this house,
Yeah.
and Mihao really struggles with eating rice and like maintaining. He sugar crashes, and I eat it and I'm quite fine. But I have the reverse with breads. And I mean, I don't know if it's scientific or if it's just in my mind, but it's quite interesting to me because I grew up eating rice like almost every day, and also chapatis, or as we say, roti. Just by the way,
I'd have to check what it says on the packaging. Like I think they have like
probably says
multiple.
chapatis.
It could say roti actually. I'm
What
not
was
sure.
it? Uh, Butter chicken is like the national dish. I'm so sorry for laughing. Butter chicken is the national dish of Britain after
Is it?
Nando's.
No, it must be a. It
No, man,
must be
I'm
a
just kidding.
korma. No, it must be a korma.
Oh, I'm
I
just kidding. I don't think it. Am I going to Google it? I'm going to Google
no,
it. Let's
curry
Google
is
it.
probably a national dish of the UK.
I'm actually getting PTSD from typing with one finger here. Oh, what is this? There's now an AI overview when you Google something?
Oh yeah, I have that too, and sometimes it's like complete bollocks. Like I was looking up a question about Minecraft, as you do, and it is basically taking things that people have written on a suggestion forum as being the answer to the question. So that doesn't exist. It's suggestions from a forum, but it's giving it as if it's the answer to the question I was asking, and it was like, yeah, we're not there yet. AI
Yeah,
is not
I
taking over the world yet.
I made a list of words from a Polish book that I'm reading, and there's some words that are just like beyond my grasp. So I was writing down all the words, and I was like, okay, I'm now have to go to the dictionary and look up every single word. Now it's very good to have that like sensory experience, and it. I feel my brain processes it differently, but that wasn't the aim. The aim was to get all the definitions of this word so I could understand
Mm-hmm.
the complexity of what I read. So I used AI, and some of the definitions, I was like, I wasn't sure about this word, but this makes me feel like I don't speak any Polish at all. And it was just, I don't know where it pulled it from. So I was like, the first thing I said was, hey, comrade, can you translate these words for me? And it came back and it was like, sure thing, comrade. And sometimes if I go in and I'm like, hey, girl, then it's like, hey, guy, how are you? And I'm like, God,
Yes.
AI is just.
Well, I just watched a video actually on Facebook or something where it says that AI isn't like you shouldn't approach AI like a dictionary or an encyclopedia. You should approach AI as a improvisation partner or so yeah. So talk.
Exactly that.
Yeah. Yes,
You have to
exactly.
go
Hey
and say,
girl.
hey, I really enjoyed the Hey Comrade
Exactly.
one because when
Yeah.
it started responding with rockets for some reason. was like, maybe it's like cosmonauts and it just like associates comrade with something else.
But what were we talking about?
Dogs.
Wow, we segued a lot. I thought it was about. Oh, it was about rice. Yeah.
Yeah, what you're cooking tonight? Do you know
Yeah.
what curry you're making? A cauliflower curry.
Yeah. So I don't think I have any curry pastes in my fridge. So I think I'm just gonna throw in uh, a bunch of powders and hope for the best. So no, so it's gonna be like I'm gonna like so it's gonna be cauliflower. I've got some leek. I might have something else. I don't want to use up all the vegetables in one go, but I am hoping to cook for tonight and tomorrow night. So like I don't have to cook so much. Um, and I usually do my curries with like different spices and then lentils and then coconut milk and stock and then just simmering it. That's kind of my way of doing it, which I'm sure is like the way of doing it as well. Anyway, so yeah, I'm not claiming to have invented it.
Iris, when you invented curry,
Yeah.
it's very interesting because the way I learned to cook curries is we hardly use pastes. Like we use it maybe if we're making like a tikka chicken or something, or tandoori chicken actually.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always with either dry spices or something that you have fresh, but then you have to kind of grind it and prepare it because you can't like have a whole lot of whole spices. So I
Mm-hmm.
always find it very surprising when I see that people use pastes to make curry, and it's absolutely valid because the Indian community in South Africa had to cook according to what they had when they were taken there. So obviously it's different from how
Yeah,
people might cook in India or wherever
but
else
it's also
curry is
like
found.
it's a shortcut. Like so in Indonesian cooking, the paste that you make is called a bumbu, and
Oh, I love
um,
it.
I know it's very cute. Um, sorry if I'm being accidentally racist. I am half Indonesian or quarter. I don't know. Let's argue about it. So um, um, but what it is basically it's where you like use your mortar and pestle to like make all of the spices and the like the shallots or the onions and stuff into a paste. So if you're going to do it like from scratch, then you do that. But I love the fact that um I don't mind so much with Indian curry pastes actually. Like I will use the dry herbs, not herbs, spices, and it tastes good as well. But when it comes to um the East Asian flavors, where
Yeah.
there's a lot of like lemongrass and
Yeah,
like
then
lime
yeah.
leaf and those kind of ingredients, it's really hard to get those flavors to be nice and strong without using a paste. And I love the fact that like you can just buy them in a big pot and just
Yeah.
use them.
That's a very good observation actually. Because when I hear curry, my inner BJP, that's a party in India, that's a
Mm-hmm.
political party, comes out, India first. We made everything. Curry is ours. Hey, I can do the accent because I'm Indian. Okay. I saw a dog at the vet. It was absolutely ridiculous. This is him in my imagination. I'm just paying homage to him. What a ridiculous, ugly little dog.
Well,
he was
he
he
looks
was
very
cute.
traumatized.
Yeah, oh no, he was shaking like a leaf. But it doesn't help because obviously my dog, you get a hype man at a party that's like, everybody put your hands up.
Hmm.
And Felix is more like, everybody, we're gonna die. This is the last place they're gonna hurt us. He just continuously whines and shakes because he's just really scared and we're there for a long time. So all the dogs that were calm just end up like, I really love what you're doing on the page, end up a little bit nervous. Okay, I think it's getting around time to wrap up.
Hmm.
I just want to label this and then I'm going to go on a 5-mile run.
Oh, are you also in your running era then?
Yeah. Running away from responsibility,
I
running away from my kids. I'm kidding. I don't have kids. Um,
have been considering going for a run for about the last 20 years. I haven't succeeded yet, but it's often on my mind.
oh my god, this is gonna sound so sad. This is gonna sound so sad. I have dreams that I'm running sometimes. Okay, so for those of you that like don't know me, I am a fat person, and running is not on the agenda for me. Walking, yeah, jogging, sure. Like, do I have incentive? But running is not something that's on my plan anytime soon. But sometimes I have dreams that I'm running, and then I feel really sad when I wake up because I'm like, why do you want to run? Can't we just walk? Why are you doing this to me? Yeah, but I come from a family of runners actually. My dad was a runner. My mom's a runner. Um, yeah, try it, Iris. I encourage you to go running. This is
Thanks.
Boris. Hugs and
Oh
kisses.
yeah, Boris.
Yeah, Boris. I spelled it wrong too. Iris,
Yeah,
would you like to do another live stream
I would
anytime
love to
soon?
do an. I would love to do another live stream. I feel like we haven't provided very good entertainment value, but I have thoroughly enjoyed myself.
I honestly, I'm looking at what you made and I'm looking at what I made, and it really makes me feel joyful. Like all the color and all the
Mm.
different like textures and stuff. So to me,
And
that
my
is
frog.
success.
My frog.
Oh yeah, I see your. Oh, is that a frog? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
How dare
I'm
you?
really kidding. I know it's a frog.
Okay.
Where's the nose that you were drawing? Is that gone now? Is
Nose.
that for
Oh,
later?
the shameful nose that looks like something else is over there. It's fine. It shall never be seen again. Look, and the frog is green now, so it's actually a frog. There we go. Like,
Okay, now I believe it. Now I'm sold.
yeah, exactly. It's all about the color use. All about the use of color. Yeah, very good. You can have a little. Hang on. What kind of a tongue does a frog have?
Uh,
It has
like
this tongue.
pinkish? You mean the color,
Yeah,
or you mean
yeah.
like
No, I meant
pinkish,
like the
pinkish
length.
red? Oh, it's quite long. It has a tongue that can like jut out very quickly at long lengths, and then it just sticks onto whatever it hits.
Oh
So it's
yeah,
very
yeah.
like elastic.
Mhm. I will not be drawing that because knowing me, I will be drawing something that is NSFW again. So that will not be happening.
Thank you everybody for watching. Uh, I have enjoyed spending time with you, Mama Rose. That is such a beautiful name. And if we did any swear words, I'm sorry. And if you want lasagna soup, contact Iris.
Hit me up for the recipe. Oh, thanks
Oh,
for watching, everybody. Thanks, Ali, Mama Rose, Lisa, Eulalia. I hope your brushes are clean now.
yeah. Rena, it was really good to see you. And Andrew, thanks for joining.
I don't think he's
Okay.
here anymore. He's working. So
Okay. Goodbye, everybody.
goodbye. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Boom.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to end the stream.